Hey everybody, this is just a simple live test. I'm not doing anything specific. I just wanted to test and see how things broadcast a little bit. So I'm just inviting a few friends, see if they want to join in. And yeah, so just trying a couple things, nothing specific. But I thought it might be kind of fun. So bear with me while I wait for somebody to join us. Anybody? Well, I shouldn't say anybody. I have to actually invite the people. But yeah. So I've sent a few invitations out, and I'm just talking. But I just want to see how a couple things work out here. Yeah, just... Hey, Rose.
Hello.
Hey, so this is live, just so you know. I want to try and see if it'll actually stream to I want to see if it'll stream to YouTube. Brad Druid said he'd like to join in, so hold on a second. Let me see if I can just call him up here. There it is. Send him an invite too.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, Brad. So I sent you an invitation as well. And audio and picture are pretty clear. I'm not sure who said that. Hey, Brad, how's it going?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Have you met Rosa?
I haven't. Hello, Rosa. Nice to meet you.
Rosa is one of the team captains of Woodsball Outlaws.
Oh, okay.
Woodland Desperados.
Woodsball Desperados, yeah.
Okay.
And she's out of Kansas.
Oh, okay.
And she's
I'm
the
in
one.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Nowhere, Minnesota.
Yeah, Brad does a lot of video. He is working on his own documentary. I assume that's still being worked on.
Yeah. Yep.
And you also do some producing and things like that as well.
Yep. And you were right when I heard. Oh, Mike Beard. Mike, how you doing, Mikey?
Hey, what's up, Brad? I didn't know you were in here too.
Yeah, you were saying, Steve, just because I can help you with the YouTube connectivity thing, because I was doing that as well. So I think you've got it under control. But if you have any questions, let me know.
Okay. And Michael, have you met Rosa yet? Or Mike, have you met Rosa yet?
No, hi, Rosa. How are you?
Rosa's from Kansas, and she does the Woodsball Desperados, and she's also she's starting to help out more with the Ali Remembered Foundation. Michael Baird is one of the original Iron Men, so he is when it comes to star players, he's been out of the game for a bit, but
I've been back in for 5 or 6 years, but
yes, but the OG Iron Men haven't been living up to their old standard.
Well, dude, we're 30 years older.
I know.
And some of us are 100 pounds heavier.
Hey, I'm not judging. I'm just saying that you are awesome. And Rosa has only been playing for paintball for about a year, but she now owns 2 guns and whatnot.
Nice. Speaking
of which, by the way, Rosa, I keep trying to load the interview I did with Leds, and it keeps crashing. Like I literally just went 2.5 hours, and it crashed on process. I've been having a really hard time uploading, and I'm not sure if it's connection speed or what it is, but it doesn't like it. But the actual recording I have is wicked. So
yeah, I listened to the audio version tonight, and that was really, really cool.
I told it. Wait,
really
yeah.
Cool.
So. Yeah, Rose was on one of my live episodes before, like from a couple days ago. If you guys watched it, or I don't know. And she made a lot of nice compliments about the MG100 and Leds, the guy that owns Plant. The rest of it, he watched it. He thought it was awesome, and he was really excited. Anyway, he wanted to make sure he gave you a shout out. So,
Yeah, very cool.
Nice.
Very
all right.
cool.
Now, what I want to see is, so I can't see you guys at the moment, but I'm pretty sure that I have set up everything correctly. I'm just wondering if I'm broadcasting live on my YouTube channel.
That's a good question.
So, because I'm
is.
pretty sure you can't broadcast live unless you have,
Like the YouTube paid subscription kind of service or something.
no, I thought that you could only do, if you had 1,000, you couldn't do it until you had 1,000 subscribers.
1,000 subscribers. Yep.
Yeah, so I set it up to broadcast. What happens if I go live?
Really good to see you, Mike. By the way, we haven't talked for a while, so
Thanks,
good to
Brad.
see you, bro.
Thanks,
I've
Brad.
had
I can
some.
hear Steve and I can hear Mike, but I can't hear Brad.
Oh, really?
And
I can hear Brad.
Yep, and
Yeah.
sometimes that happens. It happens on my show, and I'll jump out and come right back in, and it's possible that you'll see me in it. You'll be able to hear me. So hang on one second. I'll be right back.
And he's gone. So Rosa, you've been playing about a year now?
Yeah, I started playing. My husband took me out one random weekend last year,
Mhm.
and we've played nearly every weekend ever since.
That's how it happens.
Yeah.
How long has your husband been playing?
Honey, how long have you been playing? He's been playing off and on since he was about 15, and he's almost 34.
Okay. So yeah, he has his years in, definitely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, I'm just buried in this here. I'm listening to everything. Actually, I should see if Brad's back.
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me now,
Hey.
Rosa?
Oh. Yeah, I can hear you great, Brad.
Perfect. I'll help you out, Steve, while you're doing that, and I'll just keep talking to both of them. Mike,
Yeah.
Rosa, I was telling Mike that I haven't seen him for a while. It might have been Florida that
Yeah.
we put at the ICPL.
Yes.
I've been talking with some guys on the paintball therapy cast as well that I don't know if you saw any of those episodes, but your name keeps coming up. And I was talking to Dirk actually.
Yeah. I watched the one with shut up, Doug. I watched the one the other day with Dirk and
Fantastic.
and
Yep.
and the Brits and yeah.
Fantastic. And we're gonna do an Iron Man one, but I'm actually going to do I'll spill the beans here if it's okay with Steve.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm working on a Iron Man episode, and I've been in contact with Todd Martinez, Nick Sloviak, and Dan Norcross, who's from Minnesota and who I've known since he started. And it's great to be able to go from the classic guys to the current NXL guys
Absolutely.
and weave those threads that go all the way back to classic, because of course you're an Iron Man, and there's other people out there asking, who's the best or whatever. It's not an answerable question. The guys that currently today appreciate and respect the old school, the smart ones are appreciate and respect the old school guys because they got all the tricks, all the trades, and you can learn from all these other people, and it affects today's game. And I think that needs to be brought out. And I have a lot of good people, and I pay attention to everything that Steve does because it's fantastic. The more that's out there, the better for everyone.
Well,
I
actually,
agree.
I got hit there for just 1 second. On that note, when I was talking to Leds, he and a few of the other industry leaders have requested, and Rosa heard this, he's requested that we all start using hashtag paintball strong, and we start creating as much content as humanly possible just to try to keep paintball alive. So we're supposed to try to use hashtag paintball strong. That, and I just tested my YouTube and I went to the wrong account. But when I go on to my videos, where is it? And there it was gone. My videos or your videos. So when I go on to your videos, it shows that we are live right now.
Fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right on.
So it is
Well-
showing that we are live on YouTube, which is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Brad, do you pay for your software, or are you just using the free version?
I did not pay it. It's a funny story if I can just tell it for 5 seconds. I was in the middle of a program that I was doing with Frank and Dustin from Minnesota, the area. My screen goes blank. We're doing a live Facebook thing, and I didn't know what happened. Apparently, I crashed the free version of it because I almost hit 20 hours in 3 days or something like that.
Right.
So it shut me down. It's like, you're going way too much.
Yep.
And so I had to pay to get it going, but it was, again, one of those weird things. So
Sure.
I'm looking at different formats because I have other uses. Zoom was one of the choices out there as well. But going back to the main purpose of this is flooding it with positive content, keeping paintball going, talking to the stores, talking to the fields, all of us. It's not just it's as a community, we need to pull together. And I think that we can do it in a positive, fun, enlightening way that everybody has their own flavor, and the more the better.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But the reason why I was asking is because once you pay for it, you can actually stream to 2 locations, not just one. That's why I'm telling you.
I am not very tech friendly, so I'm surprised that I can tie my shoes some days.
Right.
But I will
Well,
definitely look into it. And it was just one of those things that it was like, get through this interview, because they're texting me on the phone like, what should I do? It's just Dustin sitting there.
What should frankly, I do? I'm like, surprised that anybody from Canada is tech savvy.
You do know a lot of us have guns, right, Mike?
Yeah, and I'm in California, so
you don't.
Your gun's not that powerful.
So, that's the whole purpose of the reason why I brought you guys online, because I thought it'd be fun to chat.
But to make sure that it was working.
Right. Well,
I was sitting at my desk when I saw it. So
somebody told me that I could, and everybody's telling me you can't stream live without 1,000 subscribers.
Right.
So I just went online to look. Now, if somebody could actually go to my YouTube channel, because when I go, it tells me that it's there and it shows me, and I pop it open and I'm seeing it happening, and I'm hearing it in my head from 2 different streams.
Yeah, I'm gonna look on my phone.
Sure. But if you could see if it's checking, Christopher Struck says he's going to check too, which is awesome. Thank you, Christopher. Or Chris. Chris is a cool dude out of Saskatchewan. And he's going to be doing his own Saskatchewan-based podcasting and everything, interviews and stuff like that as well.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I don't know if you can see this, but it's on my phone. I see that it's selectable.
Cool.
So
select it and see if it's working.
Yeah, let me see.
Just because I want to make you work.
It might do this weird yep, it's doing a weird loop. But yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Very cool.
That's
Hey,
awesome,
look,
guys.
Me. That's
Now-
me on your phone, Brad.
Yeah, that's me on my phone talking to you on my computer.
Now,
It's
Rogue,
like-
you said you were going to be crashing soon?
Oh
Yep,
my god.
I'm ready to hop off here.
Okay, well, you have a great night then. I just wanted a few people on, just cause, and it makes it more fun to chat.
The
and test all at the
Popular
same time.
Unknown YouTube page. Everyone go to
Yes.
it. Popular
Good night, have
Unknown.
paintball dreams.
Good night, Rosa.
Bye.
Good night.
Night,
Nice to
Rosa.
meet you, Rosa. That was fantastic, Steve. I mean, it looks fantastic. Everything's great on it.
That's awesome. Oh, I got a message from look at Woodland Desperados actually linked us, and that as you see it shows that it's the YouTube, which is perfect because I can do this, and there's Kathleen, and now it's
Hey,
Facebook.
Kathleen.
So we're streaming live on both,
Nice.
Technology.
right?
Yeah, it's really amazing.
So I'm pretty stoked. I think this is a pretty successful because tomorrow night's going to be a really big episode live for me. Not that I didn't enjoy Bud it was fantastic, and having Rosa and Melanie on as a test was good, but I've got some special stuff planned for the Skyball tournament, and so I'm really excited about tomorrow night.
I'm very excited for you as well.
Hey,
Thank
Steve,
you.
isn't Bud just the nicest guy ever?
He is.
He really is. He's just genuinely a really nice person. You know, yeah, he's a good man.
Yeah, no, I like him. Actually, I should just check to see if he wanted to be on.
It's been a while since I've talked to Bud, but I was just talking to the guys over at Fred and Friends, Fred Kiko, and they were having some audio issues.
Yes, I watched the whole thing too.
Yep.
Well,
Oh
missed
yeah,
the
I
first
saw.
few parts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
Actually, I should send an invite to Kathleen. See if she feels like coming on. 1 second here.
Get her on, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sorry she's out there. She has to work. She goes in early.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she works for UPS.
Okay.
And that's the thing is some people are still working and some people are at home and some people are taking care of their families and it's it's a stress on the situation.
Oh yeah.
So anything positive and fun, and especially paintball, because we all love to talk about paintball regardless of what it is, it's a good thing. And this is great. Whatever I'm looking at, which Steve, it's fantastic. It looks great. It's fantastic. I love the scroll on the bottom. It's perfect.
Yeah. No, I've been really
So-
working hard at learning this software as much as I can. There's a lot of really cool things you can do, and it took me forever to pick that background.
Oh yeah.
Like
I see it. It's not lost on me. I see it.
Because I wanted something that was rich looking.
Yep.
I wanted something that was rich looking, but I didn't want anything that overpowered and took away from all the feeds that I've got coming on.
Yep.
And then
Beautiful balance.
I
Great
tried
balance.
to reorganize the background a little bit over the last couple of days. I think I'm going to shift this over that way a little bit.
Yeah.
Because sitting behind me, I think you lose it. You don't get to see my Millennium Falcon, my little R2D2, my
There you
dipods, my MASH box set.
Yeah.
Hey Brad, have I told you about this?
Yes. But you shared, you can share the story again.
Yeah, I shared it again with Leds, but I'll share it with you as well.
Yep.
Do you know what that is, Michael?
Yeah, that's a Pred Cam.
Right, but
Push mask
it's not just
Is
one.
it Marcus's? Is it Marcus's mask?
Oh,
Yep.
it's Marcus's mask.
This is the original
Nice.
prototype. This is the very first
Nice.
one. It's actually got his nickname in the back, so I can breathe in his DNA.
Yeah.
Wow, that's not creepy. Stalker. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
it'll
and
It'll
again,
help improve my play.
Marcus is a great guy. He's a great paintball ambassador.
Yep.
Worldwide. And the Preds always have been. My hats are always hats off to the Preds. All these years, they were one of the. If you go back to the '90s when it was the big three, and then it was the UK Predators.
Yeah.
Outside of the United States, they were it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they could hang with us.
They won a tournament shooting pump guns when everybody else was shooting semi-autos.
Yeah, the five man.
And they told me, and actually, what's great about Marcus, and I'm just going to brag on him just for a second because I was able to talk to him over the last few days.
Right.
But those guys told me something that, I fancy myself as a bit of a paintball historian, but they told me something that I did not know.
What's that?
They had a run, if I'm not mistaken, where in England they won 36 events in a row.
Nice.
I don't doubt that.
That's years. I mean, that's not just a season or two.
Yeah.
We're talking about multiple years where they never lost. That is an impressive feat. But they also acknowledged, America for being where they wanted to go. But they'd come here, learn, bring it back.
Yes.
Yeah. That's something that Marcus has told me, and actually a couple of the other Preds have told me that in the early years, in the early 90s, they'd come over and they'd watch us or they'd play against us,
right?
And go, wow, that's obtainable. That's right. What we want to play like. And they took the Northern California style because we were definitely more aggressive than other parts of the country. And they took that back to England and just went on a roll, dominating because they watched us, again, not patting us on the back, but giving them credit for learning the aggressive, very offensive minded style.
The West Coast style of paintball that you guys were pioneering at the time. They had a front row seat. And so they were benefiting from it. And it was obvious. And yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And they went over there and they were just, because I've played in England, and they're back in the 90s, it was very much a slower paced game.
Yes.
It was a lot of bunker ball, a lot of defensive minded, and we were able to just go over there and just roll everybody. Which is what the Preds did. Yep. That's what the Preds did because they were aggressive. They were very aggressive compared to everybody else.
And they learned from you guys. I know that Marcus actually played on the Ironman a few times.
Yeah.
In the past.
Yeah, guested from time to time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, my dog
wants to be involved.
Who hasn't played on the Ironman over the years? I mean, okay, all right. So 2 out of 3 people here haven't. But if you look at the long history and the long list of pros that have been through the program, it's most known pro players have played for one time or another, for the Ironman. Because we go back to early 1985.
Right.
Is when we started the team. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But when I think of the Ironman, and nothing against the modern players and nothing against like in the 2000s, because they've always been a dominant team. But when I think of Ironman, I always think before the split. Back when Bob Long was in charge, and I was always reading the magazines, and there was a very regular group of guys, and the rosters rarely changed. That's what I remember most. And I know that isn't accurate now, and I know everything's different now, but
that's when you were coming up in paintball.
Yes.
And look, it's like in life, as an adult, you like the music that you liked when you were a teenager.
But I like that music now too.
Exactly. Look, I'm 54. I love 80s music. You know why? Because those were my formative years. And in paintball, in paintball, you admire, you look at the teams that were big, that were dominant back when you were coming up during your formative years in paintball.
Right.
That's where the admiration comes from.
Right. just through curiosity, or just going to throw this out there. This is just a test for anybody that's watching. There's no rhyme, no reason, no anything. I have 3 people up right now. I can add 3 more if I want to. So don't hesitate to message in the books and say, hey, I want to join in on the conversation. I will send you an invite and you can talk with us as well. As long as you leave the politics behind, because we don't want it. It's all positive energy here. It's all pro paintball. Well, not professional paintball, just yay paintball. Raw paintball.
Yeah, positive paintball. Funny story. My son plays, Brandon, right? And he's jonesing bad. He played weekend before last, but all the fields are shut down now. And he told me that he rearranged the furniture in his apartment, put on his pants so he could slide and practice sliding, sliding up and coming up, gun up, ready. Yeah, so he was doing that in his apartment the other day, practicing sliding.
Yeah, but didn't we all do that, especially if we used autocockers? We'd literally walk around. I literally had an autococker that I never played with. It was junk. Well, not junk, but it had the really hard,
Harley, hard
spring. And all I would do is walk around, constantly pulling on the trigger, and just to make my fingers faster.
Yeah, come up, snapshot, practice snap shooting without shooting.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Sorry, I had to walk over and bring my dog in because she's howling at a cat she sees across the street.
Hey, Kathy.
Oh my God, I did it.
You did it.
This out.
Hey,
guys.
Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Hey, how you doing, Kathy?
And for those of you that are just tuning in and don't know who Kathy is, Kathy used to be a major supporter and support of the Master Blasters in New York, if I remember correctly. And then personal reasons, you moved out to the West Coast, and now you hang out with the Ironman and the Dogs of War and whatnot, and still ref and do airsoft and all that fun stuff, but you're still a New Yorker at heart. And you are part of the unknown history of paintball.
That's
for anybody that's following on. Right? Am I? So.
You are 100%.
Well, Kathy's brother was one of the original members of the Blasters. Is that correct?
Right.
That is correct. Back in 1988. I started repping in 86. Right off of Jerry's field.
Yeah.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, we've only got 3 people watching. They're probably looking at just a quick test and going, those bunch of goons. What the heck are they doing? All right. So Christopher Struck has been bugging the snot out of me about wanting to know about MagFed tournaments and if they're starting to happen. I can say for a fact that yes, they are. That was one of the things we talked about with Leds. And I know that we have MagFed tournaments and MagFed only days happening in London. I believe the Behind the Bunker guys have stuff to do with that.
Now, I have a question, and it's a MagFed question. Does a 10-round tube constitute as a magazine? Or is it purely like the new technology of MagFed, because you can't really get more MagFed than a 12 gram, 12 gram tube, a 10-round tube in your gun.
Right. But then you're talking stock class, and that's different.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think MagFed would have to be spring fed
magazine,
a magazine or some type of spring fed loader.
An SMG 68.
Right. I think that when I was,
with those stripper clips,
the 3 stripper clips.
I used to love hunting those, but those things had, and
I'm not trying to split hairs. I'm asking for clarity because I like it all, but I'm just saying if anybody asked me, I would go, that's a good question. I don't know.
I'm not sure who responded because they haven't allowed StreamYard to use their fame, but it says I've run stock class at MagFeds. Some don't like it, but it's been welcomed. And I know that I've heard about pump being allowed at MagFed days, depending on the field. And I think that's fair because if it's pump, it's still slowing you down.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
you know, I think a mag fed only tournament that might be fun. I've never played mag fed. I get it; it's still paintball, and it puts everybody on an equal playing field. You know, with the equipment, that might be fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely not against it. I've played, I think everything that there has to be except for driving around in cars or something and shooting at people. That was the only thing that I haven't done yet.
I'd rather play it than rough it.
Yeah.
The first strikes, they hurt. Trust me, they hurt. I got shot.
Yeah. I mean, you're putting in all the work, running up and down the field. You might as well be, shooting a paintball gun while you're doing it.
What I really want to know is what happened to those old Tippmann dune buggies that Tippmann made.
Be right back. I'll be here. I'm just dimming out, but I'll be here.
All right. Now, I want to know what
daughter needs me. My daughter needs me for a second.
Sure.
Okay, good.
I want to know what happened to all those Tippmann. I believe they were called the Hellhounds. Do you remember those, Michael, or were you out of it at that point in time?
Yeah, no, out of it. I wasn't. Yeah. And stuff like that, obviously, for big games.
Yeah, but I mean, they literally got dune buggies, and I forget how many thousands of dollars, and they modified them, and they made a multi-barreled functioning Gatling gun that had a DeWalt drill hooked up it. So the barrels actually spun, and it would use different barrels. It wasn't one of those knockoff ones where outside barrels spin, but it's just the center barrel working, right? On a cam. It wasn't that. They literally had 6 barrels spinning, and they would actually take individual paintballs. And then they, above the buggy, they had this huge giant funnel, and the hose fed down to the minigun, so that when you had one person driving, you had one person manning the minigun, just ripping into it, and the dune buggy was just tearing all over the place. I think they were called Hellhounds, but I don't know what happened to them. Huh.
It probably didn't sell enough. Something like that would be expensive. I know years ago, Mike Leon, he was on the Ironman in 85, 86. He opened a field on Mount Dabo Venture Games. And for a while, that was our home field.
Right.
Back in the mid 80s. We started out at the NSG field in Pinole. Then, since Leon was on the team, and I helped him open his field, I worked there for about a year. Later on, he started doing big games fairly regularly.
Right.
And he had a bunch of like Arctic Cats, I think, the 6-wheel, like quads, but 6-wheel. And he had those with sides built up and gun turrets on it. And he had 2 ultralights that they'd fly around dropping water balloon, paint, bombs out of. And he had a bunch of stuff like that out there for his big games. And that was that he did all that on his own years of his late 80s, early 90s, or no, I wouldn't say that. Mid to late 90s, he was running big games out there.
Okay. Just checking things out real quick here to see all the comments. Oh, all right. I'm listening, by the way. I've just jumped over to Facebook, so.
Yep. Do what you need to do.
Because this is more of a test than anything.
Yep.
So, Brad, how's your daughter?
Oh, she's great. She's not quite tall enough to get the glasses out of the cupboard yet. And she said she didn't want to bother me, but of course I got to help her get some. But
that's better than her climbing on the counter and breaking something.
Right. Exactly. I might have a big mess to clean up.
Yeah.
So Kathy, go ahead.
Woods Ball? Are you guys going to the Woods Ball in May?
I don't think anybody really knows what they're doing. I know that the Ironman originally wanted to, but I don't know. I think everybody's holding off to find out what's going on, if flights are going to be allowed, that sort of thing. And I know that the UK Predators were planning on it, but they can't now, and they probably can't leave England for a year because of flight restrictions from crossing borders and stuff like that. That's going to affect them. But apparently also with the way insurance works, they just can't afford travel insurance, because apparently the travel insurance right now is through the flipping roof.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I know that
Although
teams
flights
from
is cheaper.
around the world aren't going to be coming because
Yeah.
it's just too close. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't cancel the Woods Ball World Cup.
World Cup, yeah.
He's talking about putting it on even if there's regional teams there.
Right.
Right.
I think that and nobody knows, but
Right.
I think with the facility that they have, they might be able to distance everyone and system everyone in a way where it's lower risk, lower responsibility, because that's one of the topics that I'm sure we'll cover in some of the conversations with field owners is,
Right.
there's field owners that are giving people brand new goggles each time that they go out and play. Now there's nothing. The rental guns, but you can hose down rental guns. You can steam clean rental guns.
Right.
Yeah.
Spray them down with Lysol every time. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't know. Like, I'm taking a wait and see, because this could go so bad, or
people
this could
should
be
do what they want to do,
vanish in a
what
month
they
or
feel-
two.
right, and what they feel comfortable in doing. And I agree with you 100%. I haven't left my house in like 2 days. I went to the gas station today for 2 weeks. I went to the gas station today. I left my house for the first time because I get groceries delivered, and that's it. My daughter doesn't have to go to school anymore. So I don't have work I don't have work to do anymore. So I'm at home. That's what motivated into the podcast as well for me.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty bored in life because I haven't worked. The 19th was the last day that I actually worked. I've gone in twice. I went in today for a few hours, and I went in last Friday for a little bit. But yeah, we're totally shut down, and we're going to be shut down for 6 months.
Oh, fun.
The entire industry.
They gave you that timeline. They said 6 months.
Well, no. Okay, so with the industry that I'm in the stimulus bill that was just passed, it states that there has to be 4 months after the government deems it's no longer a national emergency.
Yep.
Then the clock starts for 4 months.
Yep.
Then we can go back to work.
Reset.
Right.
It's 4 months.
Reset.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's 4 months after it's no longer a national emergency.
So you don't know, and that's a conservative estimate is 6 months, because if it goes,
because if we go on for another 2 months, then the government says, all right, panic's over.
Right.
Then 4 months after that,
stop
we have to be shut down.
4 months.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Mark Gong, I sent you an invite. Join in here. Don't just say good evening anywhere. Get in here.
Mark, get on here, buddy.
A little something.
Yeah, Mark, I
A
just
little
seen
something.
he fell. I seen that Walt Disney video that Fred was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
No, oh yeah. When Freddie or when Fred Schultz took him down there.
I'm gonna take Mark's side. I'm gonna say that it was a vaudeville slide.
Oh, I should take a picture of it and send it.
I'm calling it the vaudeville slide. That's
Yeah.
He meant to do that.
Yeah, he did. That's his story.
And by the way, anybody that's watching this right now,
This
and
is
they're just
only
sort of
a test.
instead of watching on your phones or whatnot, I have actually got this streaming live on YouTube. So if you go to Popular Unknown Paintball Podcast on YouTube, you can veg out on the couch and you can watch it on your TV. That's why I wanted to do this.
I saw a
So-
little head poking in there.
I saw that. I saw that
Yeah.
too.
That's my daughter Macy. She leaned over and looked at my phone to see what I was
what you were
was
doing.
who I was talking to. Yeah.
Mine walked in yesterday in the middle of the episode, and it was just kind of funny. I'm just like, hey, take a look.
Yeah.
Stuck in and go. Yeah. Yep.
I
Sean.
think we
agrees.
all are. We
Yep.
all are itching.
Yeah, everybody's itching. Everybody's itching for it, buddy.
And talk to I suggest that people talk to their local fields, even if it's just to, everybody's buried in their own stuff, but even a message to your field, your local field, and saying, hey, the second you guys are open, let us know because I'm coming. That goes miles to people's psyche through this whole thing.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so I think field owners could probably get away with doing private groups, just not walk on play.
And it's
'Cause
some
if-
areas because some states are locked down and you can't move.
Well, we are. We're
Yeah.
in California. We're
Yep.
locked down. Trust me.
Yeah.
But that doesn't stop people from going out
You guys
and
have
doing what they
fines?
want.
Because we have fines here in Minnesota.
Yeah,
Thousands?
allegedly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know of somebody that tried to go to San Francisco and they got turned away by National Guard
Interesting.
just trying
I
to go to
haven't
San
heard-
Francisco for the day.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Oh, wow.
New York is the same thing. The bigger cities have National Guard rolling around there. Hey, Mark.
Marky Mark.
Mark is coming on.
Hey, Mark.
Eventually he'll be here.
And sometimes the audio is
Hey,
in
Mark.
and out, and you have to go in and out. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna mute Mark for a second to see if that's him not giving us the feedback.
yep. I heard
Definitely
that.
sounds like Mark's giving us the feedback.
Yeah, that's what he's good at.
Yep.
And sometimes just going out, Mark, and
I get lots of
clicking
feedback.
helps.
Hey, you're back.
Okay, let me see here. Let me see what I can do here.
Yeah, not a problem.
By the way, Sean, I sent you an invite too. So if you want to jump in on this,
I love the background. I know you talked about the background, but seeing it with the different
The Paisley.
different squares as it shifts, it's never visually takes away. Like you said, it never visually takes away.
well,
It adds
I really wanted it to be professional looking.
Right. Yeah.
It's subtle.
Everything top notch.
It's not just a black background. There's that design. It looks like a Paisley print, but it's very subtle, and I like that.
Right.
I like that gun. Is that a push goggles on the shelf?
Yes, it is. Have I not told you about these? Did you miss?
No, she wasn't
Oh, I
on.
see that one. I didn't see the other one.
Okay, so when I started the podcast, I reached out to Push Goggles and Brian
How's
Benini,
that?
and that's much better, Mark. And so Brian sent me these.
That's
Now they
nice.
look bluish, but they're purple.
Yeah.
And I got those right before Chicago NXL, and because I was playing for Ali Remembered and Destiny Midwest, so I wanted to make sure that I had purple goggles. So I got sent those.
And you have your the pink or the purple strap hanging on the back of it.
Yeah,
I see.
yeah. My prostitute pink strap. That's been on my That's
20
been
years you've
on
had
my
that on
mask since
goggles.
1989.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear
And
us,
then-
good Mark?
So Kathy, take a wild guess what this is.
That's from the Iron Man.
No.
No?
No, that Ironman have tiger stripe. This is Predcam.
Oh, okay.
This is the original prototype that was Marcus Davis's mask.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he sent it to me. The agreement was I could not sell it, and it was not to be like just a wall hanger. I had to actually use it, not teach it any bad habits. And yeah, so that is the original prototype Predcam mask.
Nice.
Side note here, it's very possible that if Mark is listening to the live version on YouTube, that's creating a loop, and that might be doing the audio stuff with Mark's end.
Nobody's on my YouTube right now.
Does anyone else other than me hear that loop?
I hear it
Yeah,
too.
I think it's Mark talking, but if you look, his the video's not
Yeah.
moving.
Because I
Yeah,
hear the
That's
back.
feedback.
So if I mute Mark, that takes care of everything.
Well, there we go.
I think you
Mark,
might be on Facebook too.
So he
Mark
probably
has
just
always
needs to
been
put
a
some
problem.
earbuds in.
And he's gone.
Now,
All right.
Steve,
Go ahead.
Since this is all a test,
Yeah.
have you used the share screen part of the software? Because I pull up videos on YouTube for some of the guys that we're talking about, because there was either showing pants or going to an event where you can pull up the screen and share your screen with everybody here. I just didn't know if you've done that yet or not.
I haven't played with it yet.
Yep.
Because it's recommended that you run dual screens.
Yes.
And right now I am running a laptop and I am running this thing to its absolute maximum capacity.
Yep.
And I'm still running the laptop camera. I mean,
Yep.
I've got this just waiting.
Oh, that's
to be
right.
s-
We were talking about laptops before I got mine. Yep.
I got this. Oh,
Nice.
Sorry, it's all upside down. I got this waiting to be the camera to improve everything, but I don't have the proper HDMI cord, and I don't have the continuous battery that you plug into the wall.
Right.
So,
You don't want to go out halfway through an episode like I did.
right. So I'm holding off on that. So I've just been doing a little bit by a little bit,
Yep.
as I go along. But with all the craziness going on, I didn't want to not move forward because this was the perfect
Right.
opportunity for me to launch everything.
And if
Now-
you order anything now, it's going to take a month anyways to get to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, as backlogged as Amazon is.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, no, Amazon's not so much backlog. They just flat out said will not deliver till the end of April.
Yep.
So
Oh,
I've played with the green screen, but the green screen I have doesn't work that well. So I want to be able to green screen all this if I can for whatever reason.
Yep.
So I have to wait for that. Because the local stores where I can buy it, they want like $230 or something for a green screen, and Amazon wants $20 with free shipping.
Right.
wow.
I believe in buying local and supporting your neighbor, but there comes a point in time when there's
Cost effectiveness.
yeah, like that's like what 1,000% markup or something stupid.
Right. I mean, if anybody was given the choice between $20 and $250,
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like if I have my choice, I have a local taco place, and it's this great old guy from Mexico, and he makes all this stuff, and it's a little more expensive than McDonald's, but it's so good.
right.
I would rather give him money than give McDonald's the money. Do you know?
Please, let's not talk about food. I am starving.
So yeah,
I want to go out to the restaurants that I go to, and we're all suffering, and I understand that. I
Oh,
understand.
Brad, you need to start cooking.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a great cook. I cook
Okay.
all the time, but that's the reason. That's the reason why I eat so much Asian food is because I can't cook it. I can't
Right.
cook it.
Okay.
I can't cook it. I can't.
now
Yeah,
going back to
makes
your add-in videos and things like that, I have played pretty successfully with an overlay. So for
Okay.
example, that is the map of everywhere that in the world where people have downloaded my podcast and
Yep.
listened to it,
Wow.
Wow.
which I think is pretty awesome.
That is.
So I can do stuff like that.
Yep.
And then
I haven't even done that. I don't even know and I was doing my podcast from my laptop using the thing, but it's a new laptop. And we were having that discussion when I was looking at laptops, and I remember that. So yes, you're pushing it to its limits. No need to go any farther.
No. And truthfully, at the moment, I don't have anything that I really want to share. I'm not at that level yet. So I'm taking baby steps. I mean, if you consider roughly a year ago to the day was when, actually, let me just double check this here. All right. So released on. So my very first real episode was episode 3 with Don Mills on February 24th.
Fantastic.
And then my Jesterfest and sponsorship was March 19th. So approximately a year ago, I was using a 9-year-old laptop, and I was using gamer headphones and microphone. And then I just, in a week's time, when I got a Turo, I got this mic here.
Yep.
But it wasn't on the boom. It just had a little tripod, and I was literally sitting it on my chest.
Yep.
And so I was sitting talking to a mic with the mic on my chest, and now I'm live streaming. And
you've come a long way, baby.
Yeah, a little bit
in a year.
Yeah. In 1 year, and not only that, I've gone to Chicago, I've gone to Florida, I've gone to Vegas now, and that's all thanks to the kind people that believe in me. I couldn't afford to go by myself. I'm being sent.
Right.
So
That's cool.
I was hoping for maybe a mask if I was lucky. So I was super excited when Brian sent me that. Like, so excited. I can't thank Brian and the Push guys enough. I know it's a little thing to pros and stuff, but to me, this is just the world.
No, it still means something. It really does.
Yeah. So, oh, I stepped out of the comments there for a second. So it says it's not working. It worked last time. I'm assuming that is Mark Gong. So.
Yeah. Could
Sorry,
be
buddy.
Cell phone reception, could be lots of things.
So,
sorry.
Yeah, you don't have to hang around. I just thought it'd be fun to while we're up. Chat.
I've been up since then. I got up at I think 1:30 this morning.
Go to bed, dude.
But I'm not working tomorrow. No reason to look. The thing is, if I go to bed early, then I'll sleep for 5 hours and be wide awake at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
What time is it now?
So I try and stay up. Huh?
What time is it for now for you?
9:55.
Almost 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Well then, no, I'd still go to bed.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I've been out of work since December, like mid-December, right?
Yeah.
And I will flat out tell you guys, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, set your alarm. Make sure you get up at a certain time every day if you can. Make sure when you get up, you brush your teeth. I know that sounds stupid, and actually put on real clothes. Don't wander around in your pajamas, things like that, because it tricks your mind and it helps you maintain routine, and more importantly, it helps you maintain your sanity. Because if you don't do that, I promise you are going to hurt in about 4 weeks.
Yeah. See, the thing is, my routine. I normally get up at about 12:30 a.m.
Right.
12:15 to 12:30. So I can't stick with my regular routine because then I'm up at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right. You've got 27 minutes to sleep, Mike. 27.
Yeah, I know, right?
We've done that for tournaments, though. We've done that for tournaments.
Yeah, but you know what? The stories I could tell.
Oh yeah,
going out to clubs, and the next day we're going, hey, where's so and so? I don't know. He went home with some chick out of the bar, and we're scrambling, looking for people, and we're telling other people, hey, we got to go. Sorry, kicking, local friends that we've made out, kicking them out of the hotel. So, so we got a tournament to go to or the pre-cell phone and stuff, no way to call people that are missing. Then we get a phone call. Hey, I'm taking a cab. Take my gear. Take my gear to the field. I'll catch a cab. Yeah. There was a lot of that going on back in the day.
Yeah, I miss those times because now everybody catches everything. Whatever goes on, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the stories aren't good enough. When we were young, we'd tell the story and the story was great. But now everybody has 4 to 7 different camera angles. Somebody's got zoom on this thing.
Yeah.
It's like you can't hide anywhere. So I agree.
God forbid if I made a bad call, I would never hear the end of it now. Back then.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah, you make a bad call on the paintball field.
Yep. Caught forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm just sort of scrolling through here a little bit.
What you need to do.
Yeah, just double checking a few things because it's what
Brad,
I'm
you're
doing.
what, 2 hours ahead of us, right?
Yeah,
It is
about
1 a.m.
here?
here.
It's about midnight.
1
Okay,
a.m.
about midnight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
11:59.
Okay. Yeah, I thought 2 hours ahead.
Yeah. Yep.
And how's the weather?
It's been rainy for the last few days, but it's supposed to be plus 10 Celsius.
Which is what? Plus
I don't know.
10?
Google's your friend, dude.
I can't math. I can't.
Well, zero
Oh,
is
cold.
freezing. Zero is
Cold.
freezing.
Yeah,
10
0
degrees
is
above
32
that.
degrees to us. Yeah. Yeah, but your 10 degrees is different than our 10 degrees.
I
What I'm
know.
saying.
Right.
That's why I'm saying Google's your friend. It probably be around 60, 65-ish. Like
It's
it's a
that's nice.
like a cool fall day.
Yeah, that's nice, and that's nice weather.
Yeah.
It's gonna snow here this week.
Is it really? I was going to ask.
Yeah. The thing is that Minnesota is one of the, and I've lived
Thank
in
you, Sean.
Chicago, I lived in Colorado, I lived in Nevada for a while. I love Minnesota. Minnesota is my home. I love it. But man, being a paintball player in Minnesota is the worst. We cannot we cannot play outside until April, maybe late April, early May. And then it snows in October here. So it snows in October. It stays on the ground until April or May. Crazy. Get me out of here. It's just, yeah. That's why I have to paper. Wow.
Hey.
It definitely makes it difficult to practice. That's one thing that we had here in California. We have paintball weather year round. Now it rains. We have a rainy season,
Right.
but you can still play in the rain. But and that has always helped the California teams.
All right, I'm
being
going to
able to
interrupt you
play
for a second,
year-round.
Mike. I'm just going to interrupt
Yeah,
for a quick
Reaper's
second.
here.
For those of you who don't know, welcome. This is Reaper or David Justin. He does Shoot You Soon podcast, and he does. You guys all know? Am I the only one that?
I know him. I know him. Absolutely.
Wait, there's Kathy. I don't. Hi, Kathy. Who are you?
I'm Kathy. I started paintballing back in like '86.
With the Master
Oh.
Blasters in New York.
Oh my! Wait a minute. What am I doing on the show? These are all OG players.
Oh, no.
These are all paintball
Please,
enthusiasts.
Welcome.
We're all passionate about paintball.
This guy, I have. Where have we met before?
He's one of the original
I have
Iron Men.
no idea.
Okay.
Like
my dog won't shut up.
when the Iron Men were just freaking destroying everybody.
Yeah.
That's Machine Gun Mike.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the beginning of competitive paintball on the West
I'm a
Coast.
little bit older now.
Yep.
Okay. And then how about? Hang on. And you, Brad? Who are you?
I am essentially nobody, but I've been playing since the 80s. I grew up in a paintball wasteland, which is Minnesota, because like we were just saying, there's still snow on the ground.
Okay.
But I grew up on the competitive side.
Okay, I'm muting you for a second, Brad, because you're playing yourself down too much, and I had to interrupt
Ooh.
you. Plus, I wanted to hit the mute button. Brad also does Midwest Paintball. He's working on his own documentary, and he's another podcaster. So he's just loving the sport, and he's an old school baller. And
So
you're
wait.
back.
Okay, so hang on a second, Brad.
Yes.
Your own documentary, the same thing that John is doing?
Different,
No.
same concept.
Yep. Still
Okay.
about paintball. It's still about paintball, but it was focusing on the competitive side, or the return of the classic movement is really what it's focused on, because that's where I grew up.
Okay,
Right.
cool. So listen, did you guys say that if you know who I am, or did you just think I'm like a random homeless guy? What do you
I
guys-
know exactly who you are.
Nice to meet you then. I'll see you again. And
Yes.
and Michael, I'm sure we haven't. It's interesting. I've only been playing since 2008. I was born in Santa Monica and I live in LA. I live in Encino, and I play SC
right.
and Hollywood Sports is my home park. So
Nice.
I mean, do you still play? Have we ran across? Have you ever
Yeah,
been to
well,
like?
I live in Sacramento.
Okay.
You know, so the Ironmen originally were a Northern California team,
Right.
and it was after the split when they essentially kicked Bob Long off as captain, and Dave DeHaan took over. That's when they became the Southern California team for the
Okay.
Ironmen.
So wait, was that Paxton and Talford? Who was on that?
Years before Paxton and Telford.
There's a long
Years
history.
before them.
There's a
Yeah.
long history going back to because Mike's dad actually started the Ironmen way back
Yeah.
when, like 85, and the Ironmen are
85.
still relevant now. I mean, the name's gone through this whole time because the Ironmen just won the NXL, so there's a ton of history
Got
there.
it. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you sort of when 07?
No.
You said-
2008. 2008.
2008. Yeah. So we were dominant. We were beyond, without gloating, we were beyond dominant in the 90s.
Okay, got it.
So yeah.
All right. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm just making a screenshot. Let me see a podcast, so I can promote you guys from podcast. And it's what's today? 3/31/2020. All right, cool. I'm just saving it. Let me
This
say
is
that
just a test. We're just having fun, man.
Yeah,
we're
There
supposed
is
to have
no
fun.
purpose to this whatsoever.
Wow, let me take my hat off.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have fun.
yes,
Hang on a second.
yes.
Okay,
You can
so-
let your hair
okay.
down, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so here's the deal. I didn't know anything about our sport before 2008.
Yeah.
But my best friend is Gary Baum. You know Gary Baum,
Okay.
paintball photography.
Yeah.
Photographer.
Yes. Yeah. We all know Gary.
So he came to in 1994. He came to I was teaching a CompUSA class. I'm a tech, so I was teaching a CompUSA class, and he came in and we learned about. I was teaching him about Windows and everything, and he kept on taking over the class. And then I finally said, "Hey, listen, I've got 30 people here. You keep on taking my time." He goes, "Why don't you just come to my house and teach me?" So we started becoming friends. We'd go mountain biking, and he's an orthodontist, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, but he's not just an orthodontist. The whole family is like a dynasty. They basically started the orthodontic, whatever. So anyway, Gary and his brother Brad, they actually helped start the Clowns. You know the Clowns, right? The Psycho Clown Posse.
Yes.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So
Yes.
again,
Not to
way
be
before.
confused with the band.
No. Right. So what happened
that-
was
that-
in 2000 in 2008. I mean, I used to go mountain biking, but Gary never talked about paintball. Never talked about it. And in 2008, I got involved. I went to a garage sale. I found these paintball guns. I gave the guy $100, and we started whatever. But then I drank the Kool-Aid and I fell in love. And then the next day, I called Gary up and I go, "Hey, do you know this thing called paintball? Have you ever heard of this thing called paintball?" And by this time, he's already well established in the industry. And he goes, "Listen, I know how you are. Just play it. Don't get involved in it because it's got a really crazy history and crazy people. Just play the game." I said, I can't. I got this idea. So at that time, there was the SPPL, there was the NPPL, there was the PSP, right?
Yeah.
There were these three basically.
And there's a few more, but yeah.
Okay, that
But
I knew
those
about.
were the biggies. Those
And
were the
then
biggies.
I said to him, listen, you know, there's nothing for the rec ball player, you know, because the SPPL was in the woods, and the NPPL was, you know, bunkers, and so was the PSP, and they were fighting each other, right? So I said, I got an idea. I'm going to create something. I want to call it the WTL, the Woods Ball Tournament League, and we're going to do a 7-man, 7-minute. We're going to use NPPL refs, and we're going to do it in like Hollywood sports. And so he goes, listen, I'm not going to back you because, you know, I don't. And I said, I don't care. I don't care who's backing me. So I said, I go, what should I do? How should I get people involved in this? And he goes, well, the thing you should do is go where the players are. And I'm like, okay, those are parks, right? So I made these flyers up, and I went to one of the first parks I went to was Hollywood Sports. And I put the flyers there, and I took off. And about an hour later, Gio's guys, his mafia guys, called me up, and then they go, Gio wants to see you. And I go, who's Gio? And they go, Giovanni. I go, what is this, like a mafia? Who wants to see me? Right? So then I drove down to Bellflower, and I get to this room, and there's like all these guys ready to pounce on me, and Gio goes, who the hell told you could put flyers in my park? And I said, Gary. And he said, Gary who? And I said, Gary Baum. And he goes, when do you want to start? So
That's
because Gary did all the orthodontic work for all the bear and the family and everything. And you know, Gary's endeared himself to all these people. So then after that, you know, Gio kind of has a reputation. He never bothered me. He just gave me carte blanche to do whatever I want. And I just dropped Gary's name like a credit card. And that was it. And so from 2008 to 2014, I created the Woods Ball Tournament League. So I understand about tournaments. The problem is I was coming in not like you guys. You guys are OG, right? And you guys, you know, had been through all the, like, you know, the 12 gram in the forest and that kind of shit. I had no idea. I just like, this is great.
Yeah.
And so I have a lot of holes in my my history. That's why when I asked about you guys,
Yep.
I don't know, and I apologize because I have a lot of holes.
Dude.
And then
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
We've been around since the 80s, all of us.
Yeah.
And we don't know everybody. And truthfully, all of us at one point or another take breaks here and there, and there's just these gaps. But the truth is, at the end of the day, it's all about the passion. It's all about the love.
Right.
And I think, like, I know that the OG Ironmen are doing a lot of scenario game stuff now.
Wow, okay.
I mean, they focus on the Woods Ball tournaments, but they are helping out with local teams. And like, I mean, Weasel's doing captaining of some tournaments and stuff like that. So they're doing some things. And Brad, he's just happy to play whenever he plays.
Nice.
Kathy loves playing, and she's not a tournament player anymore, but she loves just playing for the sake of playing. So, dude, you're in great company.
I'm in amazing company. This is royalty. This is fantastic. You guys are amazing.
Oh, if you wanted royalty, you should have been here a couple days ago.
But
were
you sitting on the throne? Is that what?
No,
I'm just joking. It's just a joke. But the
funny thing is, did you not see my first episode on video? I actually did a video where I was on the toilet and I flushed it. Are you
serious? That's
funny.
That's funny.
That's great.
Let me tell you how naive I was in this thing. When I created the WTL, I did my first one. I get a phone call from this guy named Tom, right?
Cool.
And he goes, hey, my name is Tom Cole, and I want to meet with you. I go, who are you? he goes,
Buddy,
he goes,
Tommy called you. So, you know, I call him Tommy because he was a kid when I knew him.
Right.
You know, when I first met him, he was 19 and the captain of a pro team. You know, that's I give Tommy credit, you know, with the with Bad Company and 19 years old. And they were a good pro team. They weren't great, but you know, you always got a good game out of them. And for being 19 and having a you know, being the captain of a top team like that, But
well,
sorry,
no worries. See, that's more history that I just absorbed. So
Best.
I
test
didn't know
in
he was
history.
working for he was working
Yeah,
for
right.
he was working for Spider at the time, right? Kingman Spider.
Yeah.
And it was
Yep.
like, about an hour from my house. And so he goes, let's meet for lunch. And so
Yep.
there you go. Yeah,
Hey,
do you know who
there's
looks
Tommy.
like do you know who looks like Tom Cole? Is what's his name from Virginia? Who's the other park owner that I can't remember his name. He looks exactly like Tom Cole. I keep on getting them mixed up. Fuck, I'll have to remember his name. I'll remember his name. Anyway, so I go to lunch with Tom, and I don't know who the guy is, right? I go, okay. And he opens this book up and he goes, "You're my competition." And I go, "For what?" He goes, "I'm creating a league too called the UWL." And I said, and I go, what's that? And he goes, "Well, it's going to be a woods ball 10-man like this, and you're my competition." I said, "I'm not anybody's competition. In fact, why don't we do this? If people win mine, they can go to yours. Like we can do I could be a feeder event." And he goes, no. Okay. So then the following week, Gio gets all of us people, I guess promoters together because he wants to control the situation. And I'm sitting there with a bunch of the the West Coast promoters, and also what's that guy's name? Chris, something. He had Splat Magazine.
Chris Iquinta.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
I know I'm hacking
Chris.
his
Exactly.
name, but
He's
yeah.
sitting next to me. He's sitting on one
Chris-
side. Tom's sitting on my other side. He leans over and he says to Tom, "Hey, I want to do an interview with you." And I go, "What about me?" He goes, "I don't know who the fuck you are."
That's funny.
So then what happened was I got my first taste of the old boy network. Sorry, Kathy, the old boy network that was predominant in the sport of this hierarchy structure of who the fuck are you and like this kind of thing. But the cool thing was I kind of got a pass because of Gary, because Gary was at the same time I was doing WTL, I was actually creating this Reaper thing. I don't know if you guys have ever seen what I look like when I play.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
cool.
100%.
So I was just doing it for fun, for whatever, and Gary was taking pictures of me. And then around 2014, we got a really good picture. Somebody made a poster, and I'd already been sponsored by Tittman, but Tittman said, "Okay, let's do something with this guy." So all the stuff kind of I was fast tracked basically of all the stuff that I was doing. Okay, I appreciate you guys that did the grind, from 1982 on, that basically created the sport, that did what where we are today kind of thing. And the Rich Talford or the Tom Cole or you guys, I understand that. I never had to go through that. I never had to go through with I do have TPXs, and that's all I use, and I do change my 12 grams, but not like when you guys had to have stick feeds, and you had to each ball was $100, and okay, I don't understand that part.
Back in the day when I reffed back in '86,
yeah,
I had to run out in the field with a backpack full of paint with the
Wow.
CO2s. Paint, the tubes were $1 a piece, so I had a lot of money back.
That was cheap.
Well, the CO2s I think was $5.
Yeah, dude, they were. Yeah.
Wow.
I was told that it was such a. I play a lot in Europe and Canada, and Mexico, and basically in Europe it's called a rich man sport, right? So then they're even today, the teams that are there, even the Russian Legion or those people, it was not an elitist sport, but it was very, very expensive, and it kind of weeded out people that couldn't afford it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the people that could play really respected it. And they really, they were really wow, not like today where a kid, his dad buys him a case of paint and he's wow, like this.
Right.
Yeah. You see 12-year-olds out there with, $1,000 paintball guns and all decked out in dye gear, because mom and dad bought them a new setup for Christmas, and they look great, but they can't play.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. You guys created where we are today. Did any of you guys get the chance? Did John interview you and you guys for the documentary? Okay,
yes,
good.
I did.
Okay, so I was interviewed too. I'm kind of again like this in the celebrity thing,
Yes.
but not by the what you guys did. You guys basically were the
welcome
foundation.
I wasn't
You're
interviewed,
contributing.
but my logo was included in the trailer.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
So what I was telling, I mean, I've known. Okay, another quick John story. So when I did the WTL, I created the WTL. A year later, I flew on my own dime to Paintball Extravaganza in Atlanta, and I'm thinking, okay, well, this is a great place to go, right? And so I go to Atlanta. I create this little a DVD and a whole thing about the WTL, right? And I go I
I'm
go
gonna
around
for just 1 second.
Sure.
I'd like to introduce you all to Jay. So since there's
Hey,
only
guys.
2 people hearing, this is my sneak preview.
Oh,
Jay is
okay.
who's going to be on with me live tomorrow night. Jay was one
Nice.
of the 2 guys that created Skyball.
I don't know what Skyball is.
You
And
deserve
again-
a slap.
I don't, but hold on a second.
Skyball.
Hold on a
It's
second.
okay. It was
Hold on.
before his time.
No,
Okay,
no,
hold on.
Skyball is legendary. Okay, so just so you know, Reaper,
There you go.
Skyball was the very
on.
first.
Wait.
Sorry. All
Okay,
right.
I'm back. You guys, I thought you guys
That
were
was
gonna.
Peter.
I thought you guys were gonna throw some money while I was stripping. Hang on a second.
No, no.
Yeah.
Skyball was the very first tournament ever played in a major sports stadium. So it was played at the Sky Dome in Toronto.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I don't think it's ever been done since.
Oh well, and what's your name is Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay Muncaster. Yeah.
Hello, Jay. My name's Reaper. Nice to meet you.
You can find YouTube videos of Skyball.
Oh
They're
really?
out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all over
Yeah.
YouTube actually.
Okay. Okay. So let me tell you this. So what happens was, I don't know who John Amodia is, right? I don't know. I've never met him, right? So I'm going to the.
Or
I'm
Don
going to the
Amadea, whichever.
Amadea. I call him Amodia, and we laugh about it.
I know.
I go to the Paintball Extravaganza. I'm walking around, and I'm giving out my DVDs to people, saying, "Hey, I'm doing this thing. I'd like to get you a sponsorship support." I go to John because he has a little booth there for Paintball Media Magazine, I think it was, right? Or no,
Yeah.
it was X3 or something. I think it was called X3 Magazine back then. And I said to him, I go, "Hey, this is what I'm doing, da da da," and he looked at me and he goes, "I'm friends with Tom Cole, so I can't deal with you." And I go, "What do you mean you can't deal with me? I thought this paintball. I thought we were all together." And he goes, "No, I'm loyal to Tom Cole, and I'm not going to talk to you." I said, "Okay, cool." Flash forward to, I don't know, 6 months ago, and now I'm sitting in front of his camera being interviewed, and we joke about that all the time because he was tracking me down like for the past year. Every time we go to an event, he'd be there. He goes, "When are you going to be in LA? When are you going to be?" And I said, "Dude, you don't want anything to do with me." He goes, "Fuck you," and like that. So the thing is, though, I never held any grudges.
No.
I just kept on moving forward. And again, I didn't have the baggage that you guys have. You guys know, all of these people and stuff. And, he's like, Mr. H gets drugged and this. I don't know about that kind of stuff. I don't want to know. All I did was I loved the sport. And I just kept on like doing what I'm doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. And it got me to where I am today, basically, if you guys know where I am. And I fly over the world promoting this thing. Again, I'm also smart enough to know what I don't know. And so when I ask about the Sky Dome, right? What was it called? Skyball?
Skyball.
Yeah. Or what Michael does, or what I'm honest with you guys. I'm always on. I've been honest since I've been doing this thing. If I don't know, I'm going to ask questions, and I'm not going to come off as like, I'm Mr. No. I'm like Swiss cheese. That's how much my knowledge is about paintball. But the point is I got to where I am, and I'm able to give back, and that's what I do in our community. I love giving back, and
So
even
you're a scenario player, right? You go to the big
He's
game
more of
scenario
he's
games.
more
and
of a
stuff?
producer. He started out.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm a celebrity. How about that? Let's start with that. Okay. And please
All right.
take off the E. Fuck you. Please take off the. Please take off the E because I'm not an E celeb. I'm a real celeb. I'm not in it to become famous. I fell in love with. And listen, none of these E celebs that we have created a woods ball tournament or did all of these other. They raise money for charities. Nobody does that kind of stuff. I do because I love it. You too. But I'm saying I love our community. And what happened was, I realized that I could use my celebrity to actually promote our sport and to use it outside of our sport. And I did. I've got like over 500 sponsors, and a lot of them are not even paintball stuff.
You
New
should
guests,
you
I
should
saw
hear
you on the
Jay's
news.
you should really hear Jay's biography.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
He's
thing I
own-
sent you today.
Wait,
Pardon?
hang on. Brad, what?
I just no. I was just saying. I remember seeing you on the news.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dave,
Yeah.
I've paid deep attention to everything that you've done, and
wow. Here,
I understand
let
it,
me
and
give-
I appreciate it.
let me give you a high five.
Yep, there you go.
There you go.
I appreciate it. And Jay, I all of my friends went to Skyball, and it's legendary, and I'm in awe of being in this situation. And this again, I think I don't know if I said it once or twice, but this is the best test that I've ever been a part of.
That's
Oh, I know,
funny.
right?
It's the
That's
best
funny.
test.
So I'm gonna seeing as how this is my room and I can mute you all. I'm just gonna interrupt for a second. So Jay, this is basically
Yeah.
what we're gonna be doing tomorrow night. Although I'm gonna control what kind of riffraff gets in a little bit more closely.
Fuck you. Fuck
and
you.
then-
Wait, how's that working like that?
I resemble that
There
remark.
you go. There you
And
go.
then so people can come in, maybe they can ask a question or two, but we're going to talk mostly just you and I. And then when people make comments, I can do things like this. I can bring it up. And then depending on who wants to get in, I may add a couple people here or there. But for the most part, it's just going to be mostly you and I tomorrow night. And by the way, Reaper, this is mostly me just doing a couple quick tests so
Yeah.
that when I do my live show with him, because I'm doing a live show every Wednesday night now.
Nice.
So when I do my live show tomorrow night with Jay,
Yeah.
I've got everything under control. But this is just for fun.
So are you using that StreamYard?
Yes. But I
This
but
is
I
really
pay,
nice.
Yeah. So I pay for it. So that's how
How
I
much is
can-
it?
It's like $25 a month, I think. So this allows
Okay.
me. So like tomorrow
Okay.
night, I'll have this logo up instead. But this, if you
Mhm.
don't pay for it, you can get it free for a while, and you,
Okay.
and you have this logo on it, right?
No, I don't.
Wait, hang
like
on a second. Hang on a second. Wait. If you don't pay for it, you get that. Now, if you
Right.
don't pay for it, do you get a certain amount of windows?
No,
Oh, it's
if
still
you,
the same thing.
yeah, if you pay for it, sorry, if you get it for free, you're able to stream live onto one section, but you can still download everything afterwards. So you can download the whole video and you can download the audio.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
And but you can only stream to one thing.
Now, what do you
When
stream
you-
to one thing? Like
Facebook
Okay,
or
I got it.
YouTube or whatnot. Right now, we are streaming to both Facebook and YouTube simultaneously.
that is so cool. Okay.
Right.
You had me at hello.
Right. And so, and then you can do, I can change the names up a little bit so I can make things look a little different.
Oh,
I can
that's so
change the
cool.
brands. I can do overlays, which I showed you before. Do things like that.
Wow. I like
and then I
the,
can change the backgrounds.
right
Now,
What-
this is
what-
the background I've chosen, but I was
what
really
ma-
playing with
what-
this as well.
Wait, what mask are you using for Kathy? I'm just joking, Kathy.
Beautiful mask.
I'm just joking.
You insulting her is kind of like insulting Princess Diana.
Here, give me a high five. Give me a high five. Give me one of these.
You're
Come on,
gonna
come on.
you're gonna piss
Give me a
off a
high five.
bunch of New Yorkers. You don't want that.
Give me a high five.
Yeah,
Wow.
show your face
Come
in New
on,
York.
Kathy. Come on. I'm such
So-
a nice guy. Stop it. Anyway.
So, what do you think, Jay? What do you think of this?
The
Jay, what do you
platform?
think of how this looks?
Yeah, can you even hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
there's sometimes you can hear people, and then there's sometimes that you can't hear people in the other squares as well. And it just it
No, I
happens.
think this is so. I was gonna try Zoom. Have you guys done Zoom?
That's yep.
So I'm gonna interrupt for just 1 second. So Jay,
Yeah.
can you hear everybody, or you can only hear certain people?
No, I can hear everybody, but it breaks up a little bit. I live way out in the country, so I have rural internet, which really,
Right.
really sucks. But as long as you can hear me, I'm kind of getting the gist of what everyone's saying, so it's all good.
Okay. Well, you're coming in
Yeah.
loud. You're coming in loud and clear to me. And because we've
Okay,
got
perfect.
6 people on, that
Yeah.
can drag it down a little bit. I find that it works best when I have myself and 2 guests maximum.
Right.
But it does work on 6. Plus, right
you
now
have-
with
Okay.
Did
with
you have
everyone
to pay
being off.
extra? Did you
What?
have to pay extra for the Canadian translation? Because it's coming in really good.
So
That's an upcharge. That's an upcharge.
Not saying nothing.
you know what else is beautiful about this?
You can, you can get muted and booted.
And
Mute,
Reaper can no
muted
longer talk.
and muted. Muted and muted.
Wow. I'm not saying that the neighborhood just got better, but
Now, what are you guys talking about tomorrow?
Okay, so Jay was one of 2 people that he did a lot of stuff, and he's really big in Ontario paintball, but he was responsible for the Focus paintball jerseys and T-shirts and stuff. If you
Okay.
guys old schoolers remember that,
Yep,
and
absolutely.
his brother, I believe, was part of. He worked for Skydome, and that's how his brother approached him and said, you guys want to try doing paintball here? And that's how the Skyball tournament came to be between him and it's not Adrian.
Yeah, it is Adrian.
It is Adrian. Okay, yeah. So Jay and Adrian were partners, and they got the Skyball going. So that's what we're going to talk about, the history, because there's a lot of people out there when they find out I'm Canadian, they keep asking me about Skyball. And so a mutual friend of ours, a guy named Bobby Doust, Bobby says, Steve, just talk to Jay directly. I'm like, of course. Why didn't I think of that? Bobby and I are both on the Booney Boys, or we've been playing in the same parks since like the early 90s. When all the things popped, was it, I believe, well, Bobby's claiming that it was his idea when all the airbags popped to actually start using the inner tubes. Was that him, or you might know a little better?
I think you should save that one for tomorrow night.
All right, fair enough.
that's definitely,
There's so much history there, and then
Look at Brad's eyes. That's the best. I think I just went.
man.
I just think I took Brad, and I'm like, okay, you can copy my style all you want, but you can never be me. I'm just raising the bar like 1,000 times higher.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's funny. That's great.
I do have a question, though. I stopped reffing back in November of 90. So I took a long break. I just got back in 2018. Back between 86 and 90, we did not have jersey. When did the jerseys come out? When did the pod cleaners come out, like the squeegees and all that? Because back in the days, we didn't have that out on the field. We had a rag and a stick to clean our barrels.
Well, I know we had pull-throughs in the early 90s because I was still using a Sniper 2 at the time.
I would
The
say about
semis had already come out.
91, 92.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the pull through, I don't know to give Marty Bush credit, but Marty started making them and selling them. He made them for himself. Then he made them for all of us on the team. Then he started selling them like crazy at tournaments, and he was making them in his garage. The original, the jerk is what he called it, the pull through squeegees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were called Super Jerks and Rat Tails.
So Reaper, who Marty Bush is, never mind.
No, fuck you.
And then as for jerseys,
wait, no. I'm interested about is Marty Bush what? I mean, East Coast. What?
West Coast OG Ironman.
Yeah, he was. Well, yeah, he started down in LA. He moved up to the Sacramento area, joined a team called wow, it was Clayton Kyle and Strike Force. So he joined a team called Strike Force about a month before they merged with the Ironman. And so we took on a bunch of the Strike Force guys, and we didn't know. The funny thing is, we didn't know Marty. We didn't know him. He'd never played a tournament with Strike Force. We'd never seen him, and he came along with the Strike Force guys when we merged, and dude, Marty Bush, literally one of the greatest players ever.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
Potentially the greatest pump player ever.
Really?
Hands down.
Oh yeah, we were all shooting. We were sponsored by Bud Orr, so we were shooting autocockers. We were the factory team in '91. We had autocockers before they were out on the market,
Wow.
essentially. And
Okay.
so we were all shooting cockers for years, and Marty was still shooting a pump sniper.
What was the gun that Sonny Lopez's dad created? It was like it killed the autococker, I think, or something like that. It was like I don't know. You know who Sonny Lopez is, obviously.
Yeah, I know Sonny, but
His dad supposedly created a gun that was like it's like a semi-auto or something like that. I don't know what it was, but
well, really, when the Angel came out,
yeah,
that and the electronic guns started when they came out. That's what killed the autococker, essentially.
And then-
matrices, things like that.
And then
yeah.
then what happened was when you guys went, when Kathy was, where's Kathy? Right above
Here.
me. Kathy. You changed the filter, Kathy? It looks better on your face. I'm just joking, Kathy. I love you. I love you. Anyway, listen. So
You
when
do
the,
realize there's going to be a whole lot of New Yorkers when you go that way that are
Yes.
just going to hand you a whooping.
Please do it. I'm into that. Listen. Okay, listen. What I'm saying is like when Kathy was saying back in the day, and you guys, it was basically that it was a pump. I mean, it was that pump. Was that kind of like when you guys were playing woods ball? It was just pump.
Yeah, there were no semi-autos until 91, really.
Okay.
90, 91. I mean, there was the Tippmann SMGs, which looked a lot like a Sten gun.
Right.
And you got these plastic clips, they're called stripper clips, and they would hold
Wow.
5 rounds.
Wow.
And they were originally 62 cal, and then they upgraded them to 68 cal. And they would just burp. Like you'd pull the gun and like brrr.
Wow.
Accuracy was horrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you could only fit like 25 rounds in, and you were constantly having to pick up stripper clips
I
and
don't-
stuff.
Okay.
And they were fun, but they had no range. So
Hey,
and then
Interesting.
is
Go
everybody
ahead.
else on with a 3D?
yeah, I think we're all sort of hiccuping a little bit.
Not me. I'm special.
Well, I know Brad dropped.
Yeah.
He
Brad's
said
texting me right now that his screen froze.
Right. So I can see Jay moving. It looks like we lost Michael. And Reaper,
Yeah.
you sound fine.
Of
It's
course.
actually better on my end.
Well, that's because there's less people, right?
Yeah.
That's why
Where, Jay, where are you from in Canada?
I'm close to London, Ontario.
Oh, okay. When you said like out there, I thought you meant like Montreal, the Quebecois kind of thing. No.
Originally, I was from Northern Ontario, so about 8 hours north of Toronto, kind of thing.
yeah.
So like
Yeah.
close to Santa Claus? Is that what you're talking about?
Just below. Yeah, we just built a lot of stuff for him.
Yeah.
Sent it up there.
You don't know how much I love Canada. You guys have been so open arms to me. I've been going there since for the past like 5 years. The first event I went to was D-Day in at Commando D-Day with Dave and
Oh,
Marie.
yeah. Yeah.
And and then I've been bouncing back and forth. I went to that, and I went to Hugo's place in Maribel. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Paintball Maribel. And then I went over to Alberta, and we did at Young Guns Paintball Park. Do you know about that one? So
You have to appreciate Reaper. We've all been to so many places; they all
Oh,
sort
yeah?
of blur together,
Okay.
and so many places have come up and then gone away, and then come up and then gone away.
but the thing is though, listen, I know you guys like to. Well, how do I put this? Okay, so we love each other as American and Canadians, but then there's also that rival, like that, like Americans think Canadians are still living in the 70s and, that kind of thing. Once you get up there and you see the hospitality that you guys have, both I've been onto the West Coast, I've been to the East Coast. You guys are so special. I just really love the big heart and Timmy's. I love Timmy's too, but basically the but the big heart that you guys have as players, and also, you know, when you jump to like Montreal or to Quebecois, you know, bonjour Quebecois, comment allez-vous? I had to start learning, you know, their tabarnak. You know, I had to start learning their thing when I would go there. But the thing is, though, they didn't like me at first.
No, no, God, no.
Because first off,
the only thing they don't like, the only thing they like less than an English Canadian is an English American.
Exactly, right. So, but the thing is, though, that Greg Hastings was there and Mr. H was there. And when they went there, they kind of were just like, you know, we're Americans, we're here. It's kind of, but when I went there, I started pitching in. I started helping, you know, clear the roads and shucking the corn. And then what they did is they started singing happy birthday to me because it was my birthday there. And they started inviting me back. And then I've been going for like 4 years now. I appreciate everybody's culture everywhere I go, whether it's in Germany or Mexico or Canada. But there's something special about Canadians, and there's something special about the Quebecois. And I even know that in the Quebecois, there's English Quebecois and Franco Quebecois, right? And even that those two, like the Franco Quebecois, are the ones who are, you know, like the Quebecois. You know what I'm saying? And even if you're
Canadian, we know.
I don't have to explain it, but I'm just telling you that you guys are just something special, and I really do appreciate all the hospitality you all have always given me. So from my heart to your heart, thank you very much.
You know what I don't understand though, and this is what really bugs me about the Canadian American thing. We were nice enough to give you guys poutine, but you will not share biscuits and gravy with us.
What do you mean? Why won't
Bastards.
you? What do you mean? What do you mean we won't share it? You guys don't have. I'm sure. What?
You
How
the
come you
only
don't have
place
that
you
in
can
like?
get the only place you can get biscuits and gravy up here is
Yeah?
Denny's, and that's not biscuits and gravy.
Oh no, that's like poutine down here. That's like horrible. That doesn't make any. I would think that the best place you can get biscuits and gravy would be like Alberta, or you know, like Edmonton, or
Well,
you know,
I haven't
someplace.
seen it anywhere
Those guys
around
are practically
Ontario.
cowboys. Those are cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen in Calgary? Have you seen those people? There were
Well,
with the
I
hats
haven't.
and-
I haven't seen it. Like I haven't been out west, Canadian West very much.
Yeah.
And I personally haven't seen it. I just know here in Ontario, which is a majority of the Ontario and BC have the majority of the population in
Right.
Canada.
Right.
Like Quebec is big too, but just saying.
Right.
Toronto is Toronto or BC the biggest city? I can't remember, Jay.
Toronto's about 4.1
Yeah.
million.
So
yeah,
Okay.
actually, I think
Okay.
it's 6 now. But regardless,
You know,
GTA.
you know what's,
Yeah,
you know what's interesting about Canada? An interesting celebrity fact. Besides the fact that you guys, all of your talent comes down to America, right? I mean, from Martin Short to Justin Bieber to
you can keep
everybody.
Justin Bieber.
I know. We're keeping him anyway. But also in our little small community, a lot of our e-celebs are from Canada as well. We have Alabaster Slim. We have Lead Farmer. We have what's his name? Wolf. Oh yeah, Wolf. Right. Oh, I'm sorry. You too. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm right. Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to be considered an e-celeb, not a celeb, that's cool too. But what I'm saying is that I don't know, and a lot of them are from Toronto. A lot of them are from. So I don't know what you guys do, but it's like a magic kind of a thing that you guys can produce these. It's not even. You know what? Even that. Do you guys watch Shark Tank?
Yeah.
Mr. Wonderful. You know what? He's Canadian, right?
Yep.
But he's not your typical Canadian, and Wolf is not your typical Canadian. And what I'm saying is, to me, Canadians aren't as verbose, aren't as egotistical or narcissistic as me. You know what I'm saying? you guys don't really have that. I don't know. And that just might be in my opinion, though.
It really depends. And okay, so I think we've all traveled significantly, all 4 of us. And every state you go to has its own culture.
Okay.
Every pocket of Canada is exactly the same.
Okay.
Like there's a place up near my cottage, and I know a gentleman, and his cabin literally has a dirt floor. Like it's polished, it's solid, but it's a solid dirt floor, and it's like a log cabin, and he's been living out there for years. And you
West
wouldn't
Virginia.
think that exists, but it does. And so it really depends where you go. Like the attitudes and styles and the way you do things in New York is very different than how you do things in Los Angeles.
Okay,
Like-
I got
like
that part.
The
I got
vibe
that
is
part,
completely
but
different.
what I'm saying is that as an American, my opinion of Canadians is more of not always the forefront, not always the guy standing in front saying look at me kind of thing. I've always like looked at Canadians as kind of more of like, we don't need to be that way. You know what I'm saying?
We
We're
don't.
like, yeah, exactly. But
We know
Americans,
we're awesome.
exactly. Americans always are like having to prove like, you know, themselves kind of thing. And the Canadians are always like, go ahead, knock yourself out. You know what I'm saying? So, and exactly. So you guys have always proved yourself with actions and not words. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is, but then you have someone like Wolf, who he's not your tip. No one likes him in the paintball community, but I'm saying, but what happens is, I'm just being honest, but what I'm saying is that a lot of times, both in the States and Canada, he would go up on stage and then like, you know, whatever. And then people like, you know, he's a parking lot princess and that kind of thing.
Well, you know what? Everybody has their own style and their own thing. And truthfully, if he's sponsored and traveling, and like I know a lot of people that enjoy his stuff.
Right.
You know, I'm choosing to do my own thing.
Right.
And I as far as I'm concerned, if people are out there doing their own thing, I think it's great. So I'm gonna interrupt for just a second. It is 1:45. Jay, you look like you're about to fall asleep.
I didn't realize
Yep.
it. Oh yeah.
So
I guess you're not on my time.
So I'm going to interrupt you for a second, Reaper, and just because Jay's going to be on live, and so I'm going to take this moment to just do a couple of things. You're welcome to hang out and chat, but
Oh, wait, I have to make amends with Kathy. Kathy, are we all good? Can I get a high five?
Are you coming to Sacramento in June?
Sacramento in June.
for the
Yeah.
cancer benefit.
Please come. Please.
Can you text me on my on the thing on the Facebook?
Do you know what it is, Reaper?
I think I was supposed to be interviewing somebody that's going to be doing that. Who's the
Okay,
guy?
so Richard Wilcox,
yes,
who
yes,
is-
yes, yes.
the team captain of Dogs of War, which is
Okay.
arguably one of the greatest paintball teams to ever come out of Northern California ever. Now they
Okay.
weren't as dominant, but they were a pack. Like
Okay.
they were wicked. Anyway, he is doing a cancer benefit, and this benefit is going to be simultaneously done with about a minimum of 7 fields around
Nice.
the world.
Got it.
So that's what that's about. And
Okay,
Kathy
cool.
is a big supporter of that.
And Kathy, you're
It's
going to be
my
in,
home field. It's going to be in my home field.
which
Right.
is where?
West Coast Adventure Park in
Wait a
Sacramento,
minute. Hang on
California.
a second. I thought you were from New York.
I'm from
She
New
is.
York, but I moved out to California in 90.
So wait, who owns West Coast? Because what's his name? The Italian guy. What's his name?
Anthony Patello.
I love that guy. He's an amazing cat, and Rich Talford does his stuff up there as well.
Yes.
So please, Kathy, can you please PM me and we can talk about arrangements and stuff like that? Oh, come on. Thank you.
Sure, why not?
Okay, yeah. I don't
So-
too sure. Bye, you guys. I'm gonna jam then.
All right.
And I'm definitely investing in this and not Zoom. I like this a lot.
It's great. Now I've heard good things about Zoom too. I just haven't tried it. I just tried this. It worked for me, and I'm just rolling with it.
I like it. I'm gonna do it. Okay, you guys.
I will
What?
message you. I will message you.
Thank you. Okay, Steve, listen, and the three of you guys, I want you on my show. It's please
Reach out to
So-
me anytime.
Okay, I'll do it
Seriously, anytime.
now. There you go. Okay, I
You
got
got me drinking now.
you. Okay, bye, you guys. Love you.
All
Talk to you later, Reaper.
Bye. See you. Bye.
Ciao. Okay, so any questions for me, Jay, about how this works or anything like that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, when I saw you on, I was connecting and disconnecting and reconnecting to see how fast I could get back on.
Right.
And actually, now that he's gone, and I'm not talking about
No, I know what you
anything
mean.
except the signal is just a lot stronger for me
Yes.
now.
This is
So-
how I like to keep it if I
Yeah.
can as a general rule. But because this is just a test, I figured I'd put everybody in that I could and just see what happens. Because this
All right.
is just for fun. It's literally pointless as far as paintball goes, but it's all paintballers, and so we've just all been having a good time.
Yeah, no, it's great actually, and I'm glad that I decided to go on and give it a try. So
Right. And answer your question, Sean, 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
you better be there, Sean.
So,
That's
so
cool.
yeah.
Kathy, what are you drinking?
He got me starting to drink the Ripper.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was
Just
Starbucks or
a
something.
little vodka and something
Now,
else.
just remember before you say anything else, this is live on both
That's okay.
YouTube
I
and
was
Facebook.
my tongue. I was like, oh my god, the
Yeah,
Neo
well,
is about to come out.
I love Reaper to death, but he does get chatty. But you know, it's a test.
That's great. It's all good, man. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
good. Yeah, for
So,
sure.
Well, it's nice meeting you guys.
you bailing, Kathy?
Yeah. Have a good night, Kathy.
It's 2:00 there, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to bed soon. We're just finishing up. Before you go, though, I want your opinion on something because I haven't got a girl's opinion yet. So this is the background that I really like with the Paisley, but this was the other one I was sort of playing with. But I think I definitely like the Paisley better.
Yes.
Yeah? What do you think, Jay? Paisley,
Sure.
wood.
I like the
Paisley.
paisley. It's a little bit darker, a little bit more.
Yeah, and it has the
Mysterious,
nice
yeah.
fade.
It brings out the background more.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, you can easily ignore it, but it still looks really professional.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah, it was a big deal for me to try to find something. I know it sounds stupid and petty, I know, but I'm one of those people. It's like, it's not right. I don't like it.
Now I do have a quick question.
Shoot.
In Canada, do they run the paintball same as American does? Like with
And where?
where you guys are at? Like
Yeah.
the field, the dimensions, and is there boundary lines or is
Everything's the same.
Everything's the same in the sense that every field is always different. Like, I mean, any field you go to, every single owner has its own way of wanting to do things. But that being said, yeah, everything's the same.
there? Okay.
Yeah. Except when we hit somebody, we say sorry right after, right?
Nah. Thanks for coming out.
Oh, you're out. Sorry.
Yeah. So hopefully I see you in June too, Steve.
I am going to do my absolute best. And if Bud Orr's going to be there and Dan Colby's going to be there, that greatly increases my chance of being there as well.
You should come out too, Jay.
Yeah. That
Have you
actually
heard
sounds
about
like
it,
a great
Jay?
event. No, I'm hearing about it for the first time right now. So
Yeah. It's being put on by David Wilcox, and he is, well, you know who he is.
Mhm.
Everybody knows who David Wilcox is when you're at our stage. And he still plays. He still goes out and practices with the OG Ironman. Not as much as he used to, but yeah.
Great guy.
very cool. Very cool.
Great guy.
So any questions for me, Jay? And this works much better when it's limited.
Okay. Yeah.
Is
Perfect,
it-
actually. I'm on my iPad, and I decided to use that just because it's more portable for me.
Sure.
You know, if I need to move quickly, I can or whatever. But
Yep.
And it's working. I have the buds in.
Right.
Hopefully that's okay.
Yeah, no, hey, that's perfect.
Okay.
I've just switched over to Buds. For the longest time, I was wearing these.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's fine, but it's kind of on the big.
Yeah. I don't think Kathy has anything, and
No.
she sounds great. Her microphone works perfect. So cool.
All right.
Alrighty. Well,
I'll talk-
we've been at this for almost 2 hours.
See ya.
And
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. Good night, Kathy. Good
Bye.
to have you on. Thanks for
Yeah.
helping me test it.
Anytime.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
I'll talk to you
And-
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye,
Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Cool. Good night.
Night. All right, so I am ending the broadcast now.